to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
Mr. Miller makes motion, Mr. Kleinian seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The October claims.
Yes, so we have two claims above $3,000 outside of the routine. Number one is Dan Christiani Excavating. This is 15.5 hours of grinding at our yard waste site, $14,065. Number two is Ingleout Excavating. This is cell construction bill number 3, total of $319,354.15. They prepared and installed the liner, drainage layer, installed a leachate collection trench, and protective soil cover, hauled and stockpiled soil, and under drain sand, and haul the soil liner. And all the claims above 3,000 for October.
Any
Yeah,
dis-
just a question on that. When they're doing that work, is it John's group that kind of oversees or inspects all that?
Yep, so the engineering staff is out there routinely inspecting, and then we regularly have visits from our IDEM landfill inspector as well.
Isn't that fun?
So
Is that fun?
he's pretty easy to work with, so we're fortunate. He knows a lot
Okay.
about construction,
Okay,
so.
good. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'd make a motion, we approve those claims.
Second. Third. Mr. Whitten makes a motion, Mr. Kleinian seconds. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. November claims.
Yes, so for November, we had two claims above 3,000. The first is McAllister Machinery, diagnostic and troubleshoot idlers, and repairs for the track loader, $3,678.76. Number two is BAS Boys, and this is for landfill 1, Petersville, the sump replacement and repairs, $4,656.46. A lot of sixes.
Okay. Any further questions on the November claims? Hearing none.
I'd make a motion to accept the claims for November.
Frank Miller makes a motion.
Second.
Mr. Whitten seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Old business, doesn't appear that there's any previous open business. So let's move on to item number 4, reports, please.
Yes, so I'll start with the commodity report. So for the third quarter of 2025, we sold scrap metal, office paper, steel cans, plastic, cardboard, and newspaper for a total of $34,177.36. I'll move on to our volume reports. I'm just gonna highlight a few things kind of on every page. So the first page of our volume report is our residential numbers. We had in 2025 through the third quarter, 8,872 residential visitors, diverting 630 tons away from the landfill. On page 2 is our commercial program. So this is through September, both the commercial cardboard and deliveries. We had 574 deliveries prior to the September end of the commercial cardboard program, diverting 901 tons of material away from the landfill. Page 3 is our landfill reuse. We diverted 129.76 tons of material just from our landfill reuse opportunities. Page 4 is our program totals. This is kind of a total of everything, but I like to highlight the yard waste numbers. This is our highest diversion program. And in the third quarter, we diverted 21,638 tons of material from grass, pallets, brush, leaves, Christmas trees, firewood. And that's kind of the overview of the volume report. So if anybody has any questions, I can gladly answer, but I know that's numbers overload.
Report, please.
So the next report is the education log. In the third quarter of 2025, we reached 1,163 adults through Little Red Schoolhouse, Cummins Fairs, and Adopt a Road. By and large, the majority of that is the Cummins Fairs. And that's all I have for the education log, unless you have any questions.
Heather, I did have one question. So, I know, since the last meeting, I had one, major employer reach out about the cardboard.
Yep.
And I think, I passed her on to Frank. I passed the company on to Frank, and he gave a really good kind of description of history and why we're doing what we're doing. Have you had a lot of questions from employers or businesses?
We have had some, but I wouldn't say it's a majority. We will have the opportunity for businesses to deliver material to us. The recycle pad will open on the 3rd of December is the projected opening date. They will need to have an account with Rumpke and pay our $15 scale fee. But if businesses have concerns about potentially having a container in their parking lot, that is a good option. And then as well, there's always the opportunity for service at their business. I haven't had a ton of pushback. We have had some good conversation with some of the businesses. And we do know moving forward, Rumpke does not accept hardcover books. So we're trying to put the players who have a lot of books, which would primarily be like the library and some of the San Souci, the places that take material in from residents. We know that there may be a void there, but West Rock, the current vendor that we use at the recycling center, may be able to help those companies. So we have been passing that out for folks who do have hardcover books, that there may be other opportunities. So I would say if a business reaches out to you guys, get them in touch with us, because we do know some resources that might be able to help them. There are other companies accepting material, so, but we haven't had a ton of pushback.
Because I never thought about how many hardback books there are in the world. Quite a few.
Yeah.
Encyclopedias, nobody ever knows what to do with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the library probably is the biggest one that is gonna have a lot of books on a regular basis. But again, I think there's some resources out there to attempt to keep it out of the landfill. That would be our preferred choice, but knowing some may make it there.
Good. Item B. Or is it
See,
C?
yeah.
Any summary?
Yeah, so for October, at the CD site, we had 10 tons of material, 100 tons for 2025. Again, this year, we've had very few projects at the CD site. At the landfill in October, we had 12,246 tons, and that's 96,725 tons for 2025 so far. It's approximately 13,000 tons over 2024. We did have 2,000 tons of out-of-county tonnage in October and 300 tons from Edinburgh. So the tonnage numbers all are very strong. We did include as well in your packet the comparisons. So through the third quarter of 2025, the convenience stations do look a little down on tonnage. City sanitation is slightly up. Tonnage at the landfill is obviously up, so revenue is up. And then we did see that the city's recycling program is significantly up as well. So that's kind of all relatively good news. So that's all I have for the tonnage report.
Next report, please.
Yep, just some updates. So we talked at the last meeting about the state materials management plan. That is still expected to come out at the end of this year. They have, asked for letters in intent to apply for some trickle-down funding for the creation of our plan. We did submit a letter of intent. They haven't released the details of that or the state plan, so those things I think should be to come here before the end of 2025. We did talk a little bit about the pad at the landfill. That is supposed to open on the 3rd of December. We have sent letters out to those customers who are delivering to the recycling center that will be switching to the landfill. And we are handing those out as folks are bringing us commercial deliveries. And then once that transition happens, we'll be switching the recycling center over to using Rumpke. So all things to come here in a little less than a month. As well on funding, they did release that there'll be a 3rd round of grant funding for tires. So I sat in on a webinar yesterday. It sounds like that they'll be taking applications through December 15th, and they will award those grants in February and March. So we will be applying for that. That's been a great opportunity to give residents some free disposal for tires. So we're currently doing that. We do have a grant that we're taking 6 tires at the landfill. I presume we'll have that for probably 3-4 months more. And then hopefully by that time, we'll be awarded another grant. So all good news on the tire front. And that's all I have for updates, unless you guys have any questions.
I was kind of thinking maybe Brian just update us on the city's contract. What we've been, to have that all signed off, because our contract has been signed off on, but the city's is still in the process, so.
I sent it to, so I'd sent it to Alex, and Alex Whitted, our attorney, so he sent it back over to me. I sent it to Lee. Lee just now told me that it is signed on his end, but he forgot to bring it. So as soon as Lee gets it back to me, we'll put it on the agenda for Board of Works, and we'll have it signed before the 3rd. So at the latest, it will be I can't remember if the 2nd or 3rd is a Tuesday. That would be the latest. The 3rd is a Wednesday, so we'll have it at the latest signed on the 2nd.
Further questions or comments? Okay. On with the financial report.
So our revenues for October month to date was $468,797.40. Year to date, we are at $4,722,432.41. So compared to October of 24, we was a little down for month to date, but year to date, we are up $609,050.89. Expenditures for October was $724,272.78. Part of that is from self-construction. Year to date, we have spent $4,405,332.28. We are $255,775.38 over in expenditures compared to revenue for month to date, but we are in the positive for year to date at $317,113. So general fund budget as of October 31st, we have $1,238,003.96, which is 22% left of our budget. The general fund cash balance was $2,356,882.92. The reserve is at $1,092,891.26. Rainy day fund is still at $265,860.70. And then our closure, post-closure is now at $2,858,053.99. So a total of all funds, we have $6,573,688.87.
We'll go on to new business. Holiday calendar.
Yes, so in your packet, we have the 2026 holiday calendar. Largely, the calendar mirrors what was approved by the commissioners for the county, for the recycling center and our district offices. The holidays at the landfill are quite smaller, but they are the routine set prior. So we're just looking for approval of our holiday calendar for 2026.
Any questions to Heather on that?
So moved.
Makes motion, I hear a second,
Second.
I hear seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Perfect, thank you, passes. Board meeting schedule for next year.
Yes, so we're looking for approval of our schedule for 2026. It's kind of been a routine of doing this every other month, starting in January. It would be on the fourth Thursday from 8:30 to 10. Kind of the only exception would be adding in June for approval of the budget. And then obviously November is a week early because of the holiday. But that would be the routine for 2026.
This is effectively the same schedule that we had for 25.
Yes.
Your motion. Mr. Kleinhans makes a motion. Mayor makes a second. So all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Item C, legal services contract.
Yes, this would be our 2026 legal services contract with Jim. The only change that is made is increasing that dollar amount by the same amount of what our employees are receiving. So there's a 3% increase, the same that county council approved for salary and wages, as well as for our staff. So that's the only change.
So Jim, isn't this where you step out so we can say things about you?
Or you just ask me to step out and not come back.
From our staff's point of view, he's very easy to work with, and we appreciate that.
Yes.
I'd make a motion to accept the contract as presented.
Frank Miller makes a motion.
Second.
Carl Lennop seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. That passes. Next item, annual price setting, D.
Yes, so this is to set pricing for our yard waste site for the sale of mulch, screen compost, and leaf-only compost. So we do keep a reserve of things for the public, but we do have an excess of material that we do sell off. We used to do this via contract. For the past few years, we have just set pricing, and it's kind of first come, first serve. That way, if a company decides they don't want material from us, we can go find someone else. So we're asking for the price to remain the same for 2026. That would be 50 cents a yard for mulch. Reground mulch is $10 a yard. Mixed screened compost is $4.55 a yard, and leaf-only compost would be $5.30 a yard. So we're just asking to set those prices for 2026.
I have a question just because I don't know. Somebody asked me recently. So, residents can come get free mulch
And
and
compost,
come.
yes.
So mulch is the trees and the limbs and the branches.
Yep, the woody stuff,
Compost is the leaves and the,
grass primarily, yep.
so then, if a farmer buys it or someone else buys it, they come and pick it up for this amount, right? It's not delivered.
No, we don't generally deliver. There've been a few very select instances that we deliver. It's primarily for nonprofits. But yeah, if a business wants mulch or compost, they're welcome to come to us. We'll load it, but we won't deliver it.
Do we treat any of the compost or the mulch at all?
No. So the compost, it should heat up high enough that it kills most things that would be in there. Weed seeds, anything, any kind of plant it would kill. Maybe not chemicals. That really depends on what it is. And then the mulch is simply ground. So we don't treat it, we don't color it.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion for approving the price for
So
mulch and
moved.
compost? Eric John,
Second.
Frank Miller second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Item E, playground rental.
Yes, so this is the request to go out to bid for the farm ground that is adjacent to the yard waste site. That contract has expired, and we're looking to go out to bid to find another farmer. It is about 20 acres in size, and the last pricing we were getting was about $198 an acre. So again, request to go out to bid. We would open those at our January meeting.
Is the current farmer not interested in or we're just rebidding?
Yeah, the contract had a 3-year term, and then there were 2 opportunities for extensions, and all of those have expired.
Okay.
We will be sending it out to the current farmer and then to a list of other farmers that we have.
Move to approve the notice.
Thanks.
Second.
And Mr. Leonard. All in favor of approval of the notice? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much.
You know, Carl, correct me if I'm wrong, our policy with that rental kind of encourages less care about the land because we have to bid it every so many years. You know, we can do extensions, but we can't do them forever.
Right.
So it puts a farmer in a mind where, well, I know I might lose this next year, or I might lose it in a couple years, so I'm gonna not fertilize and not lime and do certain things because you might be doing it for somebody else. But that's kind of the system we have to work in.
Yeah.
The flip side is then you can easily get rid of, you can replace that farmer if they're not taking care of it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and I'm sure in the contract, there's probably an out for either with notice. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's just, farming, when you're taking care of the land, you want to know you're getting it for at least 3 or 4 years. And that last year, you put a lot less on than you do the first of a 5-year contract. Anyway, just wanted to mention that.
Probably very similar to any lease type of situation, maintaining whether it's a building or farm.
Yeah. But I think it's how we have to do it.
Who's our current tenant there?
Nathan Feesbeck.
There you go.
Who?
Nathan Feesbeck.
Okay.
Okay, that was it. Sorry.
Does the winner or bid, do those individuals have to go through any type of background check or anything?
No, I don't think we have done a background check. No.
Because I would kind of wonder if, somebody totally new that we weren't aware of comes and says, they'll pay you 25% more, well, I'd be a little suspect of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a list of people who have bid and they're pretty recognizable names. I don't know that we've had that. That doesn't mean we couldn't.
Do they pay spring and fall?
Yeah,
Okay.
two payments per year.
next item. Brush grinding.
Yes, so our contract for brush grinding expires at the end of January. So we are just requesting to go out and get bids for grinding of material at the site. I think what we've been paying currently is $850 to mobilize, demobilize, and then $660 an hour to operate the grinder. So we'll be looking to go out and receive new bids to be opened up in January.
Any questions?
This is when all the Christmas trees are being ground up.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we go out to bid.
Mr. Leonard makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller makes a second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Item G, transfer of funds resolution.
Yes, so we are requesting to move funds from the ones and twos to the, or ones, twos, and fours to the threes to cover expenses for the remainder of this year. Our landfill services is up to, due to the changes that we made, the tonnage increases, and our engineering costs are up due to those changes. And then item inspecting at a more detailed level. So we're requesting to move those funds for the remainder of the year.
Motion to approve.
Kleinen makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Frank Miller seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carries. That's the finish of the new businesses. So now we'll move on to Mr. Scott.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Scott Kuhn, representing the Citizens Advisory Committee. Just have a couple quick updates this morning. One of them is we're still short a CAC member. We're still looking around. We've asked a few people who have declined. I'm hoping to get Bailey on board. Maybe we tried to get her to a meeting and it hasn't worked out yet. I'm not gonna upset that. Anyway, we're still looking, so we'll see what we can do. I think by January we'll probably have a name. So we're looking around. So we're just short one. We're supposed to have 7. We got 6 right now. And we may get an extra one just to add a little depth, maybe. So we're still looking. A couple of things have come across, we've been contacted about by the Project 46, some people that are associated with that. Jennifer Ihara, one of our team members, is on the advisory committee, I think, representing the Sierra Club. So one of the things they come up with is one of the 3 action items was.
Scott, do
Sorry.
you all know what Project 46 is? Okay. Project 46 is an initiative between Bloomington, the town of Nashville, and the city of Columbus around sustainability and resiliency. And we did give Bartholomew County the opportunity to join, and they chose not to. But we have, we've done some work around, regionally, how can we improve, sustainability, whatever that looks like. That may include recycling, that may include wide variety of things, looking at how do we educate businesses, can we even impact business? We don't know, but It's really in its infancy. I think we're only in year 2, so we're still trying to figure things out.
Right, and we're very early on, and we understand that there's still a lot they're trying to figure out. But one of the main things was composting, right, was removing organics from landfills to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Because Project 46 is kind of focused on greenhouse gas emissions. So, we've talked about composting programs. The yard waste program is extremely successful, and that's one of the things that they want to remove from landfills. So we have a good program for that. I think we do very well. But, food wastes, things like that. So we're going to look around at that. Jennifer's going to kind of look at grocery stores and see what they do with their food waste. The intent will be to try to keep organics out of the landfill. They kind of break it down between yard waste and food waste, kind of, are two different things. And so anyway, we're looking into that. We'd be interested, and I know it's a city thing, that, in order to impact that, we'd have to work with the landfill so it's interesting. So we're looking into that right now. And there's another piece also, and we've been approached by some people at Energy Matters, and I think some of you have heard about this a little bit, about possibly putting they don't have any money or a customer yet, let's put it this way, but about siting a solar farm on the old Petersville landfill piece of it. And I think they focused, there's like 3 big chunks. And I think they focused on the center section, which is like 65 acres or something. And, part of the thing is we'd like to see more solar energy produced. So if we could find, again, there's a long way to go. We'd have to find a customer, right? We'd have to find somebody who's going to buy the energy, somebody who's going to put the stuff on there. There's hurdles, there's permit modifications, because you can't drill into the landfill, so everything has to sit on top of it. But I think the first question is, they've been looking into this quite a bit. And they may be, interested in going out trying to find some of these people. Energy Matters, the Energy Matters Coalition. And they're doing work on it. And I think their big question is, do you guys have any appetite for that? Would that be something that the board would be interested in, putting a solar array on part of the array?
Who owns that?
Who owns it?
Petersville is owned by the solid waste district.
There's 3 big chunks.
Taxpayers.
One of them has a pond, one of them, the middle section is the one that looks most suitable.
Taxpayers.
And and it could be a source of revenue, because if you get somebody who wants to put a solar farm there, you can get some money per acre. But I guess the first question is, they're currently kind of looking into this. So is there, and I guess I don't need an answer today, but do you guys have any appetite for that at all? There are a lot of hurdles that would have to be cleared, but it's kind of land that's not being used currently, and if it was done appropriately, but anyway, so that's my question.
The remonstrance, my first question is, what would be the remonstrance from the neighbors?
Yes, there are personal property around there. Yeah, like I said, there are many issues. And, Bartholomew County has a whole ordinance about siting
Right.
solar farms and stuff. So there's lots of stuff that would have to be looked into. But again, I guess the
It's
question is,
unproductive ground that you can't.
yeah.
It's gonna be farmed, it's.
And if a producer would lease that from us, it would be a source of
I think
income.
I think I would be okay progressing and proceeding and see what comes of it.
Yeah, I think it would just, at least we can explore.
It's a responsible use. My only thought is the neighborhood has tolerated a lot of things over the last 50 years. I just wonder how they would respond to it.
I guess what I would ask Jim to do is if you could send me or all of us a copy of the county ordinance, just understanding. I know because the city and the county went through a lot with solar farm.
Yes.
We could just deed the land to them. That would solve all.
Heck, yeah, I like that.
That's all the number of times.
I could do that there.
Solve several problems that way.
Frank, is that, I think we just proceed with it and see what comes of it.
I don't think we can decide anything until we
No.
know more.
Yeah.
I'd
Right,
like
yeah.
to
Of the
understand,
potential.
I'd like to understand
Yeah.
what the county allows and doesn't
Right,
allow.
yeah.
And kind of go back and revisit everything that happened, so we understand.
Yeah, I'm not against it at all.
Well, that's the message I can
It's
say
a
to
good
these guys,
use
is
of
there,
that land.
no objections to it, but there's a lot of things that have to be done.
Yeah. And they
Properly,
would
right.
know, they know the hoops better than anyone.
Right. And again, it's finding somebody that wants to put a solar array there, a customer, right, that wants to buy it. Maybe the county garage can buy it, or can charge all the electric dump trucks we're gonna have.
For any kind of scale where you could make money.
Anyway, that was my question, so.
A lot of acres.
Yeah, and 60 or 70 acres. How much can you get out of that? Is it worth it? I don't know. So, but they seem interested in it, and I just want to know if it was gonna be something that we could, support from afar. I know we don't have a lot of money to put into it, but at least we can tell them that, yeah, you can look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we have a consensus that you can move forward in discussion.
I think so.
All right. It's a good deal. Thank you very much. And I think that's about it. Our next meeting, we've canceled our December meeting conflict, so our next meeting will be in, January. I have the date here somewhere.
Okay,
Any
thank you.
questions, comments? All right, thank you.
Okay, anything from our friends in the general public? Comment or question?
I have one comment, but I totally support Emily Johnson with Rumpke. Heather is totally correct when she said these rules are being just looked at different for us. And we don't know what we're gonna get. Hopefully we got a new inspector the next time, maybe. Not that the other guy is. Just, we're gonna have to fill them out. We've had Tim for 25 years. And we had an understanding and, now they're being interpreted different to us. And we're learning too now. I mean, the thing we thought we knew like the back of our hand, we don't. So just, it's a different situation for us.
Are you referring, Leah, I'm sorry, are you referring to the item inspection?
Yes.
The new administration, new people, different things
differently, right?
potentially differently. So as long as it's not, detrimental or causing problems on our side, well, we can dot the I and cross the T in a couple different spots, and I'm sure.
And that's all it's gonna be is crossing the i's and dotting the t's there.
Good. Anything else? Okay.
I've been approached, and I think Heather, he may have talked to you, and David Ellsbury's talked to me about, potentially coming to the board and would like to talk about, what, do they take, yard waste materials and turn it into soil?
So the leaves and grass at our site are made into compost, a small soil amendment.
They kind of, or go one step further, maybe they take the, mulch. Anyway, there is everybody wants soil, everybody wants topsoil. And, there's actually a private endeavor over in the Bloomington area where, they're making soil out of all this crap that we got. And, I think he would like to at least come and explain it. I don't know if he's got a private business venture. They used to bring us a whole bunch of that stuff. And, he's keeping it now for himself. And, I think a lot of his yard waste.
We would probably give him all the brush that we take in before grinding.
Yeah, I think it gets to a point of
Yes, we would.
space,
Yes.
gets to a point of space,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'll just tell him that he ought to get in touch with you, Heather, and if we'd like to put it on an agenda item and at least listen to what he.
And we might sweeten the deal and give him the compost just so that he'll take the brush.
We'd give them all of it gladly.
Because the grinding's what is so expensive.
Yeah, but even at the compost site, I mean, we're required to keep a machine in operation that is old. And to buy a new one, if I would come and ask you for that, would be the upwards of $500,000, which is a lot to swallow. And we do a lot at that site to stay in compliance. Our new item inspector, thought there was too much trash in the compost. So, I mean, there are lots of hurdles, at the yard waste site. So if someone wanted it all, we'd give it to them. We'd even load it in their truck.
We'd even throw in the county jail to really sweeten the deal.
Yeah, sure.
But
We're
what
willing to
we-
give that away,
What
Larry.
you're saying is that there's some business opportunities.
Yeah.
Potential.
Right,
Yeah.
there's a new way of turning, compost and into soil.
Yeah.
I think you need to talk with him, and then
Yeah.
if he's got some kind of proposal, we can do a pilot and see how it works and, you know.
And then
There
on-
are business ventures for this. There is a company up in Shelbyville called Caldwell. And they take yard waste, food waste, all kinds of stuff. And it is a money-making business that they're making basically a soil amendment for all of their farm ground. So there is opportunities. They're just usually opportunities that are outside of our financial capabilities of doing ourselves, but they're.
We don't want to run a business, but we can certainly work with somebody who's got a business and supply the raw materials and get some money out of it, or keep us from having to spend it. I mean, it's a win for everybody.
Yeah, and keeping the material, I mean, we get a lot at our yard waste site. Just keeping that out of the landfill is a financial win for us because it's a lot of material, especially with the increase in storms that we've seen this year. I mean, we've taken in a lot of material, both woody and grass and leaves at our site this year, so.
Segue into this is, Mayor, at some point in the future, CCU, once we get up and running on drying all of our biosolids, I've basically held in my hand the result of what could happen. It would be good topsoil. So for Roger to come and present to us, one of his ideas was if we're looking for top cover, this ultimately will be available for top cover. And it's not, and it doesn't, I mean, it is 90-something% dry
It's very expensive.
when we're done, and we're spending a lot of money on this, so we're gonna have this product. We're not gonna be taking it to the landfill anymore, you know, it's not the old days of the bio sludge that we had and all the sludge that they haul down to,
Dora.
yeah. So that's another future topic of discussion, I believe, that we could have here.
That's all.
Hook the two of them up.
Hearing no further business, let's adjourn the meeting. If I have a motion.
So moved.
Frank Miller.
Second.
Second.
Eric Don seconds.